Hey everybody, I'm going to talk real quick about one of my favorite pieces of adventure clothing. This is the Patagonia Nano Air Jacket. Um, so it's nice and lightweight, similar to any of their nano puffs. If you've had a nano puff before, it's synthetic insulation, which is great. It will hold its warmth when it gets wet, if it gets wet. And the main difference between this and say a regular nano puff jacket is it has a stretchable fabric, so you've got a lot more play in the seams. It actually moves there, so you're not as constricted, and it has a very high breathability rating. It's rated at 40 CFM, so maybe that's cubic feet per meter, I'm not quite sure. But it is 60 grams Permaloft insulation, like most of their nano puff hoodies. I like the ones without a hood. Super comfortable. This is a medium for size. I'm about 5'10" and a half and 165 pounds. Couple pockets on the jacket. You also have a nice one up here. It's covered with a DWR water resistant spray. And if you're wondering how functional that is, I've had this coat for about a month. And you can actually just see it bead off. So I use this a lot for bike commuting and camping. You get pretty warm when you're biking, but I've also noticed this holds heat really well. I can usually wear, if it's anywhere from 20 to say 45 degrees out, I can wear just a nice capilene base layer and this, and if I have a nice rain jacket that's also breathable to block the wind, then I find this is plenty warm. That's the other difference with the breathability of this versus say a nano puff. It also lets a little bit more air in, but it's also, they're just fantastic. It's extremely lightweight. They rate these at 354 grams, which is about 12 and a half ounces. And if you're not familiar with Patagonia, they do a lot of web specials. So I got this on sale, I think, for $140, where MSRP is $250. The ones with the hoods are just a little bit more, but my friend got his with a hood, and he got it for about the same price as me. And you gotta love Patagonia. They are a very sustainable company. They actually encourage you to send your products back in if they need mending or fixing, as opposed to just throwing them away. They also, as far as a company, they do a lot of work with other countries, and they're all about fair wages, and which is really good for developing countries. So their products are made all over the world, and they stand behind their products 100%. And they also, if you have to send a garment in and they can't fix it, they'll do something to compensate you, and what they'll do with that old garment is turn it into something else. So you can feel really good about paying a little bit of extra money for something that is probably going to last you 10 to 20 years, maybe your entire life, depending on your activities. And when you're done, you don't have to worry about it ending up in a landfill, and you can probably get the newest cool thing. Just notice these guys, looks like we have some cinches for the bottom. So if you want to stop the, maybe you're riding and it's a little cold, or you're rock climbing, you can cinch up the bottom. Only thing I do not like about this jacket is that it does not come with a stuff pocket like some of the nano puffs. So what I've done before is I've brought in a little dry bag, and I'll just cram it in there much like a sleeping bag. I think it'll go down to about this big, but that's definitely not a deal breaker. Absolutely love this jacket. Patagonia Nano Air Jacket. Check it out. Get your Patagucci on, people.